Okay, so problem 12-17 is one of the easier problems, class. The question here is, what is the branch inventory on December 31, 2016 at cost? If the question asks for the cost, class, then that means all we have to do is to remove the markup on the inventory reported by the branch. Normally, what we would be expecting for this kind of problems is that the problem will give you the amount of inventory reported by the branch. Okay, it's just that we cannot rely on the amount reported by the branch because, as we know, the records of the branch are based on the billed price given by the home office. So, as far as the true cost is concerned, we cannot rely on the records of the branch. But by using the information given by the branch, we can arrive at the true cost simply by removing the markup class. And if you go over the problem, it tells us that unsold merchandise, the branch reported unsold merchandise of 60,000 at year end. This means that the ending inventory of the branch, the inventory of the branch at the end of the period is 60,000. Okay, but again, our answer is not the 60,000 because that is still based on the billed price given by the home office. And all we have to do is to remove the markup. So how much then is the markup on the ending inventory of the branch? And as what we have discussed before, class, the markup on the ending inventory of the branch is the same as the adjusted or ending balance of the allowance account. Again, what we need here to solve the problem is the markup on the ending inventory. But we also know already that the markup on the ending inventory is simply the ending balance or the adjusted balance of the allowance account. And good thing for us is that the problem already gives the ending balance or the adjusted balance of the allowance account. Last sentence of the problem class. The allowance for overvaluation of branch inventory account on the home office books showed a balance of 7,500 after adjustment. As what we have discussed before, if it is already after adjustment balance, then that amount simply represents the markup on your ending inventory. So really all you have to do here, class, is to deduct the 7,500 from the 60,000. That will already be your answer. Okay. Simply by knowing, class, what the adjusted balance of the allowance account represents, you will already be able to quickly answer the problem. Okay, so how much is the ending inventory reported by the branch? 60,000. Why is that not the cost of the inventory of the branch? Because that is still based on the billed price. So what then are we going to do? Simply remove the markup. And there are a lot of ways for us to get the markup, but one way of getting the markup is simply by getting the adjusted balance of the allowance account. And fortunately, it is already given in the problem. So this would simply be 60,000 less the ending or adjusted balance of the allowance of 7,500, then you will have 52,500. Okay? There's no need to complicate problem 12-17. Let's proceed to problem 12-18. Okay, how much of the branch inventory on January 1 represents purchases from outsiders? So what does this mean? That the inventory of the branch class can come from two sources. In this problem, the inventory of the branch comes from two sources. Number one, some of it comes from the home office, and number two, some of it is from purchases from outside vendors or suppliers. Okay, and the problem simply wants us to know how much of the January or the beginning inventory came from outside suppliers. Okay, and are we given with the total beginning inventory class? Yes, you have the merchandise inventory of 54,600. So basically what the problem is asking from us, class, is to simply determine the breakdown, determine the composition out of the 54,600. Out of the 54,600, how much came from the home office, how much came from outside parties. Okay, and one way of determining that class is by working back on the amount of inventory that came from the home office. Again, the 54,600 came from two sources, from outside parties and the home office. If you can compute for the portion coming from the home office, then the residual will represent the inventory that came from outside parties. What are we looking for here? We are looking for inventories coming from outside parties. Okay? And to do that, we will have to determine how much of our beginning inventory came from the home office. And the figure that will help us here, class, is the 99,900. Okay, I hope everyone sees the 99,900. What does it represent? It represents the allowance for overvaluation of the branch inventory. Okay, this is as of December 31, 2016. But the question now is this before or after adjusting and closing entries, class? Is the 99,900 balance before or after the adjusting or closing entries? Before, because you still have the other nominal accounts. If this was after closing entries, then we should not have any nominal accounts. We should not have any shipments to branch. We should not have any shipments from home office, sales, and expenses. Okay. Now, what have we discussed before? If you have the before adjustment or before closing balance of the allowance account, what does that amount represent? Again, very simple requirement lang, class. Remembering what this amount represents. What does the 99,900 represent? Does that represent the markup on the beginning? Does that represent the markup on the ending? Does that represent the markup on the cost of goods sold? Does that represent the markup of something else? Since this is before adjusting or closing entries, class, the 99,900 represents the markup on our tigas. I hope you can remember. Before adjusting balance, that amount represents the markup on your tigas. So what does it mean? That the 99,900 represents the markup on your beginning plus the markup on your shipments. Okay? So the most crucial information here, class, is the 99,900. And it's important that you know what that amount represents. And the 99,900 again represents the markup on your tigas. And what is the composition of your tigas, excluding purchases, beginning inventory, and shipments from the home office? Okay? Again, I hope you understand the importance of the 99,900 here. It represents the markup on your tigas. Now, part of your tigas is your shipments. How much was the shipments to branch? 300,000. How much was the shipments from home office? 390,000. Why are they not the same? Because the shipments from home office is at bill price while the shipments to branch is at cost. So what then does the difference represent, class? The difference represent the markup on the shipments. So how much then is the markup on the shipments, class? How much? It's 90,000. I hope everyone sees that. The difference between 390 and 300. How else can we arrive at the 90,000, class? The first sentence after the table, what does it say? It is the company's policy to bill all branches for merchandise shipments at 30% above cost. How much is 30% of the 300,000? It will give you 90,000. So it makes sense that the shipments from home office is 390,000. Okay? So if the markup on your tigas, class, is 99,900 and the markup on your current year shipments is 90,000, what does that mean? What does the difference of 9,900 represent? Again, what's the composition of your tigas, beginning and shipments? If the markup on tigas is 99,900 and the markup on shipments is 90,000, what does that mean? That the markup on your beginning inventory is 9,900. And by knowing that the markup on your beginning inventory is 9,900, class, you will already be able to figure out how much is the beginning inventory that came from the home office. Okay? So what do we do here? We divide 9,900 by what? 30%. How much will that give you? 33,000. I hope you get that, class. Okay? Might as well practice solving while you're here. Okay? So 9,900 is the markup on the beginning inventory that came from the home office divided by 30%, that will give you 33,000. How much was our total beginning inventory, class? It was 54,600. We know that this 54,600 came from two sources. We have determined that the cost of the inventory that came from the home office is 33,000. Do we deduct the 33,000 from the 54,600? Is that the next step to arrive at the amount that came from outsiders, class? Not yet, because the 33,000 is still at cost, and the amount included in the 54,600 is at billed price. Okay? So is it correct to say that the cost of the inventory that came from the home office that is part of our beginning inventory is 33,000? Yes. But is it correct to say that 33,000 out of the 54,600 came from the home